As I watched the katzcradul here, as I watched the news yesterday and read several articles and got emails from some folks and watched a few YouTube videos from people I trust, my anxiety level ramped up a little bit yesterday, and I have decided that a couple of videos I really needed to make and have been needing to make for a long time, that I better get on with it. For me, the drum beat is just getting louder and louder every day, and this is important information, and I want you to have it if you don't know about it. So here we go. This is about sprouting. Somebody asked me to do a video about sprouting probably 6 months ago, and I just put it off, but we're going to talk about it a little bit today. I keep lots of seeds to sprout, and here is a collection of seeds I keep in this bucket. These are some of my favorites, and I'll share with you what they are. These I order from a company called wheatgrasskits.com. They're at www.wheatgrasskits.com. They're in Springville, Utah. It's a very good company. They give great customer service. They have fast delivery. And here's some of the things I ordered in this last package. Radish sprouting seeds. Those are kind of spicy. Garbanzo seeds. These are my favorites. Any kind of lentil. A lentil is kind of a crunchy sprout. It almost tastes a little bit like a water chestnut. It's my absolute favorite. Clover sprouting seed. There's just green peas here. 5-part salad mix, and this has several different kinds of seeds in it. I don't remember what the mix is there. Alfalfa sprouting seeds. Those are the one, in my opinion, that you have to be most careful of when rinsing, and I'll tell you about rinsing in just a little bit and how you sprout them. These are mung bean sprouts. Those are the kind that you eat in Chinese food. They're very delicious. Those are also crunchy as well. This is a 3-part salad sprout mix. I'm sure you can go on their website and look that up and determine which exactly 3 seeds they are. This is called Crunchy Lentil Fest, and this is several different kinds of lentils, and you know I just told you that's my favorite because it is so crunchy. Love it. This is Protein Powerhouse Mix. This is several, I see soybean and garbanzo and green beans and mung in there, several different types. I love those mixtures because you're getting a wide variety of nutrients when you do this. And this is a bean salad mix. It's mung and soy and lentils. Yummy. So those are seeds I typically keep, and I just have them in a bucket like this. This will make a lot of food. I need to get this out of my way, so I'm just going to kind of lay it back in here. It's easy just to keep them in a bucket like that and mark them seeds for sprouting. Prepare, would you bring me that catalog I got yesterday from you know, the bright colored one that's on the counter? Okay, that's all I can fit in there right now. Prepare's favorite sprouts, I need to fill my jar again, are wheat sprouts. They're a little chewier, but she loves them. They make a beautiful green sprout. And the great thing about storing whole wheat is not only can you cook it and use it just as cooked whole wheat, you can grind it to make flour. You can sprout it and eat wheat sprouts. You can also sprinkle it on a little tray of soil, cover it with a little more soil, get it moist, and it will sprout just like grass. That's called wheatgrass. And you take your scissors when it sprouts up, give it a little haircut, put that in the blender in your smoothie, and it just keeps growing like grass. And every few days you give it a little haircut and you use that wheatgrass. You talk about a powerhouse of nutrients and vitamins. Here's some radish seeds I won in a contest that 255 Sage had. It's in that stack of stuff on the desk, Prepare. The bright colored big catalog. Here's radish seeds. Those are delicious. You can also sprout beans. And if, I mean, this may be a little indelicate, but if gas is a problem for you when you eat beans, if you sprout them, it will greatly diminish that problem. You just sprout them, you soak them for 24 hours, sprout them for 1 day, and then, thank you, and then go ahead and cook them. And what I recommend is that you cook them for 1 hour, pour that water off, recover them, and continue to cook them and add your seasonings, and you almost will just not have a problem with grass. If you've sprouted them, and if you pour the water off after 1 hour, that's a little tip and trick for you. Pardon me. Today, I'm going to, now this came from a different company. This product is called Now, and I'll look up and find out which company I ordered it from for you. This is a Zesty Sprouting mix, and the mix in here, I believe, is red clover and fenugreek, and there's one other, let me see if I can remember, oh, radish seed. So, here's what I recommend you do. The only thing you need to do to sprout, now I have fancy sprouting trays, the big white ones that you stack up in layer. In fact, I meant to get it out for you to show you. You can see those anywhere. If you go to simplylivingsmart.com, she has a video on how to use those trays. And if I need to sprout a lot, like if our garden wasn't growing and we needed food, I would use those trays, and I'd sprout, 3 different kinds in 3 different tiers. But 9 times out of 10 when I sprout, this is what I use, is just a mason jar. But you can use any jar. And oh, look at her, right on cue, she went and got it. What a helper. She's handy as pockets on a shirt. Here it is. Here's the sprouting tray. And what happens is there's a tray at the bottom to catch any little drips. And then you put your sprouting tray on there, and each of these has a little lid. It just comes right off. Yeah, she said. Hold on. I'm kind of sitting at a weird angle. Here's how it looks. See the mesh holes that you use when you rinse the seeds? So you would take this lid off, and you just stack them up like this, and you can have three different crops growing at one time, or you can do one at a time. It doesn't matter, but that's very handy. That's a sprouting tray, and that's if you want to sprout a lot of sprouts. But today I'm going to show you how to use the jar, because I think that would be available to almost everyone. So all I'm going to do is measure out about 2 tablespoons. This is not an exact science. About 2 tablespoons of seed in that jar. And then what you want to do is you want to put enough water in, and I recommend purified water. Don't use that stuff that's loaded with fluoride if you can keep from it. And measure the water. You want it about 3 times the level of the sprouts. Okay? That's it. And I'm going to leave that, I'm just going to swish it around just a little bit. Yep. I'm going to leave that for 24 hours. Now, one of the things you can do, you don't have to have a fancy sprouting lid. If you have just a piece of clean pantyhose, you can just put that over, it's caught on my finger, just put that over the jar like that with a rubber band, and there you go. You're all set up to sprout. You have a sprouting operation going. So when I get ready to drain my seeds, all I would do is go to the sink and drain this out, drain all that water out. Then I would refill it with water, rinse them, swish them around, pour that water out. And then what you're going to do at that point, after they've set in this water 24 hours, you're not going to leave them soaking in water anymore. You're going to, after you've drained that water off, you're going to turn your jar on the side, kind of shake it so that your seeds fill up one side, and you're going to lay it on its side in a dark place for the next day. Now, I recommend rinsing your sprouts at least twice a day. I like to try to remember mine 3 times a day. Now, if you stick this in a dark cabinet and you're like me, you're going to forget about it. And that has happened to me before. So what I like to do when I'm sprouting is stick a sticky note on my cabinet door, because every time I see that sticky note, it will remind me that my sprouts are in there and I need to rinse them and tend them. So for these little sprouts, about 2 days will get it. They'll sprout out with little green sprouts, and I can use it in salad or soup or however I want to do it. You can leave it for longer than that. But once they've sprouted as much as you want them to sprout, you rinse them one more time, drain them well, and then put them in your refrigerator. And they'll last, 3 or 4 days. Sometimes you can get sprouts to last a lot longer than that. You do the same way if you want to sprout beans. Now, I'll tell you one more thing about sprouting. If you want to make the best, what I call live bread, you can sprout wheat, you can sprout any other grains that you want to use in your bread, sunflower seeds, anything you want. You can sprout them, and when they have sprouted, then you can put them on your dehydrator and dry them out, and when they're perfectly dry, then you can grind them and make your bread. This is called Ezekiel bread, and it usually has 8 or 9 different kinds of grains in it, but then you're making your bread from a live food. And people who are gluten intolerant seem to do better here because you've converted the protein in that wheat, so it's much more digestible. You've taken it from really being a grain to being a vegetable, but you can still bake with it just like you would grains. It's an awesome idea, and if you need more information about that, I'd be happy to provide it. I got my seed catalog. Oh, here's the other thing I was going to show you. Sorry. I've got a lot of things in my mind, but I don't have time to make several videos, so I'm trying to put it all in one. If you want to take it up a notch from the pantyhose and rubber band, here's what you can do. You can use your regular ring that came on your jar, and then these kinds of mesh are available in your craft supply at your local store, in your craft supplies. Walmart has them, Joann's has them. This is just plastic mesh like people use to run yarn through and make designs, that kind of thing. This one's a little bigger. This one's a little bigger, you can see, and that'd be fine for like mung beans and lentils, the bigger ones. And this is good for the smaller ones. Now, if you get to the real tiny seeds like radish and mustard, you will need to use something like this, like a pantyhose. But most of the seeds are just fine. In fact, the ones I'm sprouting today will work just fine with this mesh. So you just slip it in your lid, and when you go and buy this canvas, it's a big square. Just lay your ring down on that square and draw you a bunch of circles, and then there you go. You've got several. What a great gift this would be, to cut some of these in a jar and put a couple of bags of different kinds of seeds in here, tie it up in cellophane with a ribbon, and give someone a sprouting kit. What a great gift. So here you go. You just screw this on, and there you go. When I'm ready to drain my seeds, I just pour them out of there, run water back in, rinse them off, and I've got a sprouting operation that cost me not more than $1.25. Now, I want to tell you, like I said, I'm covering several topics in this video, and I hope you'll forgive me for doing that, but in the essence of time, it's all I can do. You know that this is my favorite company to order seed from. It's Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company. This catalog just came. It's a bigger catalog than they've ever sent out before. I think they printed 330,000 copies of it. I encourage you to go on rareseeds.com's website and order this catalog if you've never got it. This is a company I want to support. Here's the owner and his wife and his precious little daughter, and I want to tell you what he says here. He said, "We feel blessed to be able to pursue our passion for growing good, pure seeds, seed that's controlled and owned by the people. That's why every seed in this catalog is open pollinated and non-patented. All these seeds are in public domain, meaning you have the right to save your own seeds from any of the varieties we offer without interference from Monsanto, DuPont, or our government. We must all work to preserve our right to pure food and safe seed, which is why a number of companies, farmers, and organizations, including ours, have brought a class action lawsuit against Monsanto, who sued many farmers for having seed that was contaminated by Monsanto's patented genetically engineered varieties. Not only were these farmers sued, but they also lost their ability to save pure seed, and in many cases lost their market for their crops. We must all fight to ensure the universal right to pure, uncontaminated seed that's free of corporate patents and controls." Hooray! Love this guy, love his philosophy, love his seeds. Please, and the catalog is a work of art. I'm not kidding you. You put it on your coffee table like an art book. Let me show you. He's devoted, look, they're showing spinach here. He's devoted some pages to a picture of a single variety. Let me see if I can find it for you. Look how gorgeous these are. Some exotic squashes. Here's a pumpkin. The catalog is beautiful. And And he's got some funny pictures here. Here's a guy in a jail holding a big old squash, kind of a funny picture. Pictures that show all different kinds of varieties. Isn't that beautiful? That just looks like artwork suitable for framing. Here's some more squashes. Just gorgeous. But please, if you care about our food supply, this would be a great company to support. I'll show you a regular page where you can just, let's look at tomatoes. Oh, look, here's even an instructional page in this one, 5 easy steps to saving tomato seeds. And he talks about squeezing the pulp, leaving it in a jar to ferment till it gets moldy. That way the little gelatinous stuff that surrounds the seed falls apart. The pulp rises to the top, the seed goes to the bottom, and then you pour out the pure seed here. What a guy! You think most people would just want to sell you seed and wouldn't want to tell you this information, but this is what he's about, is preserving our food supply and helping you to learn how to save seeds so that you can feed your family. Love this company. Now, one other thing. This just came in the mail about an hour ago. Totally different topic, but I need to get the information to you. Paladin Prepper came in and says, what does the Department of Health and Human Services want with you? It says official business here. So I opened up the letter, and it's from the director of the National Center for Health Statistics, and he says, I'm asking for your help with an important study conducted by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention called the National Immunization Survey. This survey tells us what vaccines people in the U.S. have received and about other important health topics. And he goes on to say that we really would like your help. And if you have a child between 17 and 37 months of age, we'd like for you to have your immunization card ready when we call, because we want to know what immunizations your child has had. Be on the lookout for this. They're probably going to be calling in your area. I won't be talking to this fella. It's none of his business what immunization, what vaccines I've had. But be ready for this. And you need to be ready for when those people call, because if you're somebody who's not used to standing up and saying it's none of your business, it'd be real, you might be prone to say, oh, well, let me go get my immunization card so I can tell you. It's none of their business. Just be on the lookout for this. The letterhead says Department of Health and Human Services. Not sure what they're up to, but you can bet it's something probably to be concerned about. I can't think of anything more I need to say about that. They're not getting any information from me, though. All right, I can't think of anything else at this point. If you have any questions, I've kind of gone through this kind of quickly, but what I want to do is urge you to get seed that you can sprout. What if there was a time when you could not get out to your yard, where there was a spring when for some reason you could not plant and grow your own food? At least if you have seeds to sprout, you can produce live food in your home without ever having to step outside the doors of your house. You can produce it inside. It takes nothing more than a jar and some water, and you can have whole, living, vitamin, mineral-filled food any day of the year that never has to touch soil. Please, I urge you, I implore you, get a stash of seed that you can sprout. That's all for now. Katzcradul.